on the Philippine Geriatric Center measures. These bills, including one of the bills by Senator Erwin, these bills aim to establish Philippine geriatric centers in the country to provide specialized, dedicated care to our growing senior citizen population. While the rise in non-communicable diseases, dementia cases, and mobility-related health conditions among senior citizens, while these are rising, it's high time that we scale up our institutional geriatric care. So again, first, we'd like to hear from DOH at pati na sa National Center for Geriatric Health. Ano po yung current challenges sa elderly care? Ano po yung inyong mga geriatric programs? And we have the society here also. At ano yung mga proposals ninyo, no, in line with the measures being deliberated by the committee? So will it be, it will be Dr. Lauderes? All right, Doctor, please.
We strongly support the establishment of the geriatric facility. However po, Madam Chair, we strongly advocate for creating separate and distinct National Geriatric Center Hospital rather than converting the existing National Center for Geriatric Health because of some concerns, because nasa loob po kasi siya ng Malacanang. There's some ang limited accessibility ng facility, and the Malacanang compound restricts access for general public. So we believe that a new strategically located facility would better serve the needs of the Filipino. Because 25-bed capacity lang siya, so ang location sobrang liit. What the distinct separate entity, we can be able to at least have 100-bed capacity for the hospital. Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair, and Your Honor.
Salamat, Dr. Lauderes. Kalagay nga dito sa mga bills naming 2 at 8 pa, dahil itong Philippine Geriatric Center ay priority ng DOH. Nakapag-scout na ba ang DOH sa lugar na pwedeng pagtayuan nito? At paano nyo na-envision ma-implement ang ganitong klaseng batas? Halimbawa, Yusek, yung isang dating POGO hub dyan sa may Asiana, pwede bang doon ang Philippine Geriatric Center? Or kung sa iba pa?
Madam Chair, for the information lang po, all the DOH hospitals are covered by the regional specialty bill. So mandatory po to the DOH hospital that there should be a geriatric ward. And nagiging problema lang po natin, the geriatric specialists are not that many po to cater these geriatric patients. But there are also IM or cardio in that specific regional hospital na pwede pong mag-alaga for the geriatric. So it's still on process po, and maybe fundings din po for the DOH hospital that we need the separate ward for the geriatric patients.
And so nakapag-scout na ba kayo ng lote o location para dito sa Philippine Geriatric Center?
At the moment po, for the Philippine Geriatric Center, wala pa po siya. But we welcome that idea if it's possible with our legal and the health. There's a division po kasi in the department who study if it's in the health development plan of the Philippines and where exactly saan siya dapat malugar. But for the regional hospitals po, may ward po tayo dedicated for the geriatric patients.
Yes, I understand about the wards. Pino-follow up ko lang yung dahil priority na rin ng department itong subject ng 10 bills namin dito sa Senado. And I recall lang na yung na-raid na Pogo Hub dito sa Pasay, parang a couple of floors, Sen Erwin, dating Sec Erwin, ay tinurn over sa DSWD bilang additional office space sa kanilang mga program implementation. So please advise us kung meron eventually kayong mas malocate na possible location nitong Philippine Geriatric Center. Then could I start from this side naman po sa mga resource persons natin? Well, I ask everyone, pakisubmit po yung position papers nyo on the Philippine Geriatric Center bills. Pero kung merong resource persons na may major recommendations or proposed amendments sa bills na ito, could we hear from you now? All right, Yusek Emiliza.
Madam Chair, Your Honor, we would like to propose that the oral health of each geriatric be of concern to the honorables because ito po nga ay isang parang sequel of everything. If you cannot eat, then you will be malnourished. And if you're malnourished, hindi ka rin po magpo-function ng tama. And apparently, the oral health in the entire Philippines is not given that priority in terms of budget and pansin. Hindi po siya nagiging equally important as the eye, equally important as the heart. Well, in fact, the WHO promotes that no health without oral health. So I urge na para po i-include din siya, and that PhilHealth, who is our national insurer, would also include the dentures as part of their coverage. Kasi sa MAIFI po, we try to include it in the special provisions, but then hindi pa po ready yung DOH for the accreditation of the dental facility. So yun po yung hinihingi ko po, because with our data, only 21.26 of all senior citizens in the Philippines are given the basic oral health care. So napakababa po, but this is equally as important as other parts of the body, dahil yung mga hypertension po, natatanggal na rin ng ipin or nagkakaroon ng problema with the gums and then bleeding gums. Pag ganun din po ang diabetic. So lahat ng non-communicable diseases are expressed in the oral health. So sana po hindi din po siya bigyan po siya ng pansin as budget, and equally important kasi po sa DOH, under lang po siya ng disease prevention. There's no specific bureau dedicated for the oral health. Kaya among the Western Pacific region, which the Philippines is included in, ang pangit po ng ating location with regards to the oral health. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Yusek, and well noted. Mapag-uusapan din yan sa last topic natin after we conclude this part on the assistive devices to include dentures. Before I go to our resource person starting on my right, yes, Asek
Madam
Sakilabon.
Chair, just a quick interjection and manifestation, Madam. On the part of the DOH, we also suggest that the functions of the Philippine Geriatric Center shall align with those outlined for National Specialty Centers under RA 11959. Currently, it is the Jose Reyes, including clinical service delivery, research, training, and coordination with relevant professional organizations as further defined in the implementing rules and regulations, Your Honor. That would be all, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Asek. That's helpful. Para kung aligned na dun sa pagkakilanlan natin sa National Specialty Centers. Thank you po. All right. So our resource persons here, meron po bang major recommendations or proposed amendments sa ating Philippine Geriatric Center bills? Sino po sa inyo ay mayroon? Yes, Miss Emily of COSE.
Yes, thank you po, Madam Chair. Actually po, maganda. We fully support the bills on geriatric center. Kasi based from my experience po, for example, we have one in Bicol region, in Camarines Sur. So malaking tulong po talaga sa mga nakatatanda. So talagang may specialized services for older persons there. Kaya lang, I also want to support the recommendation po of Senator Tulfo na sa RA 9994, ando doon na po na dapat lahat ng government hospitals may geriatric wards. Unfortunately, kinakabit lang po din nila sa ibang wards. So hindi po talaga siya fully nakahiwalay. And at the same time, napakaliit po nung capacity. Like 10, 5, ganun lang po. May mga hospitals po based doon sa nakarang hearing na attendan ko at last time. May sinasabi po sila na parang may allocated lang na 10 beds. So, kulang na kulang po talaga. So, though dilalabi natin na ma-push po itong bills na to, pero mas magandang strengthen din muna yung current na law na hindi pa po fully na-i-implement. So, yun lang po siguro, Madam Chair, yung aking recommendation for now. Thank you.
Thank you din, Miss Emily. Actually, yung recommendation nyo ni Senator Erwin, pwedeng sunrise provision yan eh. Parang phase, no? Phase transition from ward to regional specialty center to yung national geriatrics na. So need lang po dyan na i-tighten yung service delivery network, yung pillar na yun ng ating universal healthcare. So salamat po. Yes.
Idagdag lang po na ensure lang natin yung integration ng services sa primary healthcare and community-based na mga initiative na po na ginagawa para fully ma-respond talaga yung needs po ng mga older persons. Kasi usually po kasi yung ating, for example, mga barangay health workers, ang focus nila more on maternal and child care. So yung geriatric care po nakakaligtaan. Baka po, do alam ko may mga initiative na din po yung DOH, nakakapag-attend ako sa mga workshop na unti-unti na rin pong tinetrain yung mga barangay health workers on geriatric care po. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Thank you ulit, Miss Emily. Definitely integrate sa primary healthcare. Yun naman ang thrust ng UHC, di ba? Tapos community-based, kaya na-appreciate ko yung best practices na sinabi ni Dr. Lauderes kanina, nakasama po yung ganyang community-based na thrust. So from this section ng mga resource persons, sino po ang may major recommendations at proposed amendments sa bills? Yes, Attorney Tricia for
Opo.
DBM.
Madam Chair, we kindly note lang po yung sa SB 1302 na may earmarking rin po ulit under Section 6. So, baka po pwedeng ma-reconsider po. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Well noted po. Okay, itong section na to ng mga resource persons, sino-sino po ay may proposed amendments or major recommendations? Yes, I see Dr. Huloka. for the
Good afternoon,
society.
Madam Chair. Short ano lang, I was able to invite your honor last 2010 as resource speaker dun sa elder abuse po sa St. Claus before.
Only
So-
15 years ago.
Yeah, so I think we have to in relation dun sa first bill po na you detain the patient, parang abuse na rin yun. With regards sa Philippine Geriatric Hospital, short lang din, 2018 po hindi nakaabot sa Senate. 2018 Congress, 19 Congress po nakaabot pero hindi nagawa. I'm happy right now na at this early stage inaayos na po natin. So we support the creation ng independent na, as mentioned by Dr. Lauderes, na hiwalay na hospital. In essence po kasi yung society namin, ma'am, caters for the training of the doctors and the allied healthcare professionals. So in relation dun na yun nga sa RA 9994, may ward, sino naman po yung tatao kung hindi po trained? So, mandated po yung National Center for Geriatric Health, yung National Hospital, to train all those professionals. Just yun po.
Thank you, Dr. Huloka. And the committee looks forward to yung partnership nyo dito sa pag-shepherd ng mga bills na to. Do I see yes, Ms. Angelica for League of Provinces of the Philippines?
Yes, Madam Chair, kasi it was already mentioned by Senator Tulfo kanina na sana masama ang mga provincial and district hospitals. So ang siguro namin, one of the first things that must be done is really to train the cadre for the geriatricians as well as the allied medical personnel, and then to give incentives for them to be willing also to serve in the provinces po, outside of the regional areas. Kasi yun yung nagiging problema din ng LGUs eh. We cannot get the specialists to go to the further, to the far-flung provinces po. Mas gusto nila doon talaga sa metropolitan centers. I think around 60% ng mga geriatricians natin are in NCR. So gusto natin ma-move sana sila outside. So I think it's a system, we come up with a system of incentives really to get them to stay in to get them to train, stay in the Philippines and work outside the metropolitan centers. Thank you po.
Thank you, Ms. Angelica. Baka pwede nating pagtrabahuan with the committee yung usapin ng incentives. But quickly, meron na bang partnership with DOH at saka yung society siguro sa League of Provinces to work on this? Wala pa po. So, essential pillar din ng UHC, no? Yung ating health human resources. So, very well noted for work. Bilang priority legislative agenda ng DOH at ng National Center for Senior Citizens, I hope, National Commission rather, sorry, I hope we'll be able to work closely to finalize the committee report on the couple of bills under consideration. Sana mapadali natin ang TWG to make sure our senior citizens receive the dignified and specialized care they deserve in time. So this part of the hearing on measures on geriatric centers is concluded. We discussed two also complementary measures with one shared mission to affirm the right of every senior citizen to age with dignity, health, and inclusion. Senate Bill 712 mandates that essential assistive health devices, dentures, prescription glasses, and hearing aids be provided for free to indigent and senior Filipinos. No seniors should be forced to choose between food and the ability to hear, see, or even smile. Senate Bill 1417 expands this vision through a national community health outreach program. It brings health services directly to our seniors, particularly those with functional disabilities, through regular barangay level visits, hygiene kits, and accessible assistive devices. This bill is about reaching the forgotten, those who can no longer go to the center, who live alone, or who are otherwise unseen by the system. And these are not handouts. They are a public commitment to universal healthcare that is both accessible and proactive. So our goal today, our last goal for this afternoon, is to harmonize these measures into a seamless policy package. Free essential health devices under PhilHealth, barangay level service delivery for those who can't travel, and institutional accountability for implementation and equitable reach. So let's listen to our resource persons and move this bill forward for the benefit of the lolas and lolas who contributed, and many still contribute, to our economy and our country, and now deserve to live their final decades or years with dignity and care. So let's start again from this side.
Philippine Dental
Yes,
Association.
Philippine Dental Association.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, I would like to say that on behalf of the Filipino people, I would like to thank you for sponsoring such bill. After everything that is happening in the country, this is a spark of hope and optimism for us Filipinos. Now, let me begin by sharing briefly what was mentioned by Yusek Chong. We are actually ranking third in the Western Pacific region as having the most number of bulok ng ngipin. And that is not a good status for us Filipinos. And I would also like to cite a specific portion of the bill po. And it's under Section 5, letter G, train barangay health workers and volunteers to deliver services. I hope we could also include training for dental workers or the dentists, because as we know, we are operating on 1 into 50,000 or more, one government dentist to 50,000, which is not the ideal ratio for our government dentists to work on. Also, I would like to reiterate the importance of not just the toothpaste. I saw the list of essentials there. Apparently, fluoride is not part of the essential medicine. So this is sad for the Philippines. Another is also, I think we could also give emphasis on the importance of oral health care, not just the care itself, but also the prosthesis that they use. There are it's harboring a lot of bacteria, and I've seen patients, most especially in hospice centers, in those neglected areas, that they could barely clean because of their disability and because of lack of products, because of monetary consideration. So I hope it could also be included. And I would also like to take this opportunity, since we are already talking about the geriatric care, we in the dental community give much emphasis on the importance of primary care. So there's what we call 80-20 for Japan. It's admirable. They have 20 teeth when they reach 80 years old. And how about us? 24 years old, sometimes they're bungal already. So this is so disappointing for us in the dental profession. Now, the goal of the Department of Health is the 70-20 for at least 70-year-old patients to have at least 20 teeth. And this will already be a milestone for us instead of 80-20. I think the consideration is the life expectancy of Filipino people, which is also, I think, is evident in the PSA that we have lower life expectancy po. Yun po. And also, just to cite, since the projection, as mentioned, will have more senior citizens. Hence, we will have higher dependency ratio. Therefore, I think it's also something that we have to consider, that there will be more senior citizens. So we need more assistive devices, more healthcare provisions, and we hope and pray that dental will be included. And as a last insight po, in the 2016, I think that's a journal released by the Federación Dental Internacional, our mother association. Dental caries, gum problems, they affect directly the heart, even aggravate Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and even infertility. So that's how important it is. That's why I'm so happy. My heart was leaping with joy when I heard one of the stakeholders mention that how could they support their nutrition when they can't even chew their food, which is the first digestive, most important part of our elderly. So there, I hope we could give more attention to the oral healthcare. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you also very much, Dr. Cheryl Ann. Okay yun 80-20 sa Japan. So kahit 70-20 dito sa Pilipinas. I'm sure if you tell the Senate and even the House more about that, we will gather broad congressional support. Salamat po.
Yes,
Ms.
Madam
Joyce
Chair.
for the CHR.
Thank you. Just to quickly share an experience that we encountered when we did our monitoring. Incidentally, the Commission on Human Rights is conducting a monitoring on the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Act, but primarily focusing on the geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. We have gone to 4A in Barangay Quezon in Isugod. So just quickly, what I would like to share based on like anecdotal information that we gathered. It's laudable to have barangay-based services, but we also noted in our monitoring that our barangay healthcare workers are overworked and undercompensated severely. They would travel for a whole week so that they can serve communities that are mountains apart. So I think we'll have to take that into consideration when we prepare these types of legislation. I think that's the concern of the devolution of certain health services also is heavily impacted by the uneven availability of resources among barangays. So the rich barangays can provide good services, but the very low income barangays are unable to provide the services that are necessary. And then the registration, because this will be based on PhilHealth, the assistive devices provision, the registration with PhilHealth, while everyone is supposed to be covered, the registration is not automatic. So there is a big gap between who are supposed to be covered and who are actually covered, because if you're not registered, then you will not be able to access the services that are going to be legislated by this. These are just quick notes that we gathered, and we will share with Madam Chair as we go along and gather more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Joyce. Napaka-importante na minomonitor pala ng UHC ng CHR yung UHC implementation, particularly sa mga GIDA areas. Kung pwede ko ring i-request, i-furnish nyo yung findings and any recommendations nyo to the Joint Congressional Oversight Committee on the UHC. Thank you so much. And I forgot to mention kanina kay Dr. Cheryl Ann, very interesting yung call nyo to also train BHWs in this aspect of health. So we're working again on the barangay health workers, the Bibong BHW bills. So we look at that kasi may provision doon sa step ladder training and accreditation program. And then importance din yung sinabi nyo na sabi nung Mother Federation nyo in 2016, may parang comorbidities in senior years with poor dental health. So salamat po para doon. So Dr. Dr. Huloka, may comments po ba sa bills na ito ang society?
As mentioned, Madam Chair, we promote ang society namin yung quality of health, life, and good health sa senior citizens. So, we support po yung bills regarding that. And relation po, ma'am, dun sa, if may I propose regarding dun sa training ng mga barangay health workers, I heard before kasi na lahat ng mga barangay health workers natin are burdened kasi maraming coverage nila. Pedya, and then yung mga buntis. May proposal, actually may initial discussion na ako with the LGU, malapit dun sa National Center for Geriatric Health. Kung pwede yung mga able pa na mga senior citizens could function, could volunteer as senior barangay health worker. Kasi within that area, within their zone, magkakapit bahay lang sila, so they could visit those senior citizens sa area nila. They know them well. So they could report yung malnutrition, dentition ng patient, hindi na pala maganda. So parang starting point lang doon sa community level. And then per barangay, meron silang counselor na in charge sa health, so we could work with them. So yun yung isang proposal ko na siguro we could look into for their training po.
Salamat po, Doctor. Ang ganda rin yan in relation sa yung isang advocacy, di ba, na sa lahat ng life cycles, pati sa senior citizens, yung karapatan pa ring magtrabaho, whether ma-employ or may enterprise or may hanap buhay. So maraming salamat para sa ganong
Parang
kahit
they are still empowered and
they are
still part
definitely very
of the nation
empowered.
building po.
Yes, sir. I agree. Attorney Subia, any comments on these bills from the PHAP?
Well, as regards the geriatric bill, I think PHAPI will be very much supportive of that. Ang challenge lang namin dyan is the lack of specialists. 10% of our population, or about 12 millions, are from 16 above, with only less than 200 specialists. So, kulang pa sa mga government hospitals yun. So, actually kami naggagawa ng isang ward or isang section of the hospital para sa mga geriatric. Kaya lang wala kaming makuhang talang specialista. So, mini-merge na lang namin sa general services. And with respect to the dental, lahat naman ng private hospitals ay required na magkaroon ng dental section. Part of the LTO yun. So, we support that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Subia. Ms. Angelica from the League.
Yes, Madam Chair. So we support this bill. However, we also support the call of our colleague from the Commission on Human Rights that probably we can also train our barangay health workers, although not the ones na siguro who are going around now kasi they're overburdened. I think it's also, we have to strike a balance na wala rin pong pera ang mga barangays. And then maybe there are some other volunteers here. Probably we can also consider the senior volunteers who can help. Parang just give them a very limited area lang po. Yung mga magkakapit bahay lang. So, but we will be submitting our formal position paper on this, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Salamat din po, Miss Angelica. There are anecdotes, di ba, about how seniors na magkakapit bahay, sila rin nagtulungan kahit nung panahon ng pandemic. So we have some best practices, not so well documented, pero marami sa atin nakarinig ng mga kwentong totoong iyon, which could probably serve as inputs here. Salamat po. Yes, ma'am, Attorney April Ann from DSWD.
Madam Chair, for the DSWD po, we support this legislative measure as well. And we would just like to note po na itong mga assistive devices din po, nakikater na po rin namin ito in the AIX program through cash or material assistance. Just to mention lang po na yung section 4 of this bill regarding the persons covered, in practice po kasi the DSWD no longer issues, or we do not issue the certificates of indigency. Kasi po, ngayon po kasi dinidispense na rin po siya. As long as you're in crisis, natutulungan na po ng DSWD. So siguro po, we just want that provision to be reviewed. And in practice po, I think the LGUs po yung nagde-determine ng mga indigents po. Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And every round, salamat na may bagong halimbawa kung paano nyo ini-evolve yung AIX para maging responsive sa changing needs. Kaya talaga, nung una namin narinig 2 years ago dito sa Senate yung AKAP, sabi ng marami sa amin, ilagay sa AIX yan para i-administer ng DSWD under your criteria and your targeting. Anyway, aside lang yon. Thank you. Mr. Cerezo from PSA, any points po?
Madam Chair, good afternoon again. Coming from the agency that monitors the counts, population counts, 2 of the resource persons have already stated the number of senior citizens a while ago, but I'd just like to add that within 5 years, this is expected to add more. Magiging 13 million tayo in senior citizens in just 5 years. This is equivalent to 11%. And actually, there's going to be a gradual addition every 10 years. It will add from 11% to 13.9% in 2040, and by 2050 it becomes 17.4% of the population will be 60 years old and over, Madam Chair. By 2055 it's nearly 20%. So we welcome the increasing attention to this specific sector of the population, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cerezo. Speaking of PSA nga pala, pwede po bang mag-request yung committee ng updated data on the population of senior citizens in the country, disaggregated by region, by age group, by ability or disability or health condition, if available? Kasi malaking tulong po ito para maplano natin whether yung geriatric centers or yung pag-allocate ng assistive devices at saka identifying the areas of highest need. Of course, GIDA is right up there, pero yung ibang ano din, yung ibang mga LGUs na less resource tulad ng pinopoint out ng leagues.
We do have the
Yes, pahingi po.
data disaggregated by region, Madam Chair, but
Great.
as to the disability, we
Ah.
have yet to process that from
Okay,
the
whatever you have na lamang po na disaggregated for senior citizens,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
pahingi po yung komite. Salamat po. Dr. Lauderes?
Yeah, to add on, Madam Chair, to inform everyone that currently we have 33 geriatric centers across the country, and JR as Apex Hospital, we're actually doing mentoring. So just recently, last month, we already done mentoring sa Western Visayas Medical Center in Northern Mindanao, helping the hospital establish structured geria services, including helping the nurses and the doctors how to profile patients and address their needs. Thank you po.
Thank you. Good to know. So may 33 na pala under JRRMC
Under
as
the
Apex.
Department of Health.
Under
So
DOH.
as Apex Hospital,
Yes.
we are obliged to do the mentoring. Thank you, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Ang ganda po. And it's good to know para, kunyari, yung leagues or CHR in monitoring UHC implementation in GDAS. Kasi from these 33, baka pwedeng mag-radiate outwards dun sa iba pang mga programang iniisip natin. Mentoring is always good. Also in terms of the human resources that we need. Salamat po. From DOH, any other observations about these bills? Yes, Yusek Emelisa.
Madam Chair, we just want to emphasize again with regards to what our colleague has said already. If it's 80-20 in Japan, now we are pushing for the 70-20 in the Philippines, since the life expectancy of every Filipino now is around 71.8 years old. So mas mababa po talaga tayo compared to Japan. But we want to give quality life to the senior citizens. And kami po sa DOH we want to get together. Hindi po kami, we're supposed to be working together for this bill also. And also, we want to emphasize na kung meron man tayong budget, we also need the HRH as well. Ang mga dentists po in the government are so few because I think the salary of the nurses are even higher than us. So, yun po yung isang bill na nakita ko, the pushing for the higher salary grade for dentists, and also to empower also the DOH having the Oral Health Bureau in our department. And kung pwede ma'am yung assistive device, not only the dental, can we put oral is a better term rather than the dental? Kasi ma'am, dental, ngipin lang. If it's oral, it's more of the entire oral health, oral cavity. So maybe on that note, the DOH also welcomes this, ma'am, and we are here to support, if anything, for the IRR, pwede po kaming matap with other, I'm sure, with all of my colleagues, kasi ngayon lang po talaga na-empower ang mga dentista sa Pilipinas. And as you as the chair, maybe ma'am, we can also help us, empower us more. So this is a work in progress, as we are already in the works with PhilHealth with regards to the inclusion of the dentures for not only elderly, but for the Filipinos na kailangan talaga, so that we will empower them, that they will be able to work, hindi po mahihiya, yung really a good life for every Filipino po tayo. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you also, Yusek. Dr. De Guzman or Dr. Mary Antoinette for PhilHealth.
In support of the 70-20 goal, PhilHealth implemented already preventive oral health services, focusing on preventive, since PhilHealth's flagship project or program is the primary care. However, we intend to expand the coverage for oral health or for oral care, not only for dentures, but also those services prior for them to need dentures. And we plan to, hopefully, we have enough resources to cover not just senior citizen, but also, as Yusek have said, those who need, even the adult that has no teeth and need this. So our efforts are aligned with your bills po.
Thank you po, Doctor. Attorney Tricia for DBM.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. For the DBM po, we recognize the intention of the bills po. And to ensure lang po na walang duplication ng benefits, beneficiaries, programs, activities, and projects po, and funding for yung mga intended purpose po ng bill, we recommend po yung program convergence budget, palakasin po ng DOH, DSWD, PhilHealth, NCSC, and other concerned agencies po. And as to the specialist, yung mga specialist po to cater po sa mga services, dahil na pirmahan na po yung government optimization program po natin, baka pwedeng ma-consider din po ng DOH para ma-double check po na ma-review kung ano po talaga yung kailangan nila as to the manpower po naman. Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Thank you rin, Attorney Tricia. Attorney Giovanni,
Good
kung may
afternoon.
points of comments ang GSIS.
GSIS fully supports this bill and the previous one, especially with senior citizens. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney. Attorney Chrissy for SSS.
Good afternoon po ulit, Madam Chair. SSS was not explicitly mentioned in the bill, so we defer to the lead agencies po. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney Patiag for PCSO.
And so with the PCSO, Madam Chair, PCSO was not mentioned in the bill, but would like to emphasize that our current programs extend assistance for our senior citizens. And in fact, we have dental activities are assistance. We have dentists in our office. And also every day we have specialized doctors like cardiologists, neurologists every day until Friday. And also we have CSR program that extends assistive devices like walker and wheelchair, among others, Madam Chair.
Salamat po, Attorney Patiag. Ms. Anna Marie for the NCSC.
Madam Chair, good afternoon po, and thank you again. We would like to manifest our support for these measures that you are sponsoring. We have a few recommendations po na I think, I don't know if it's been mentioned, pero isa yung hindi ko pa narinig, like strengthening the geriatric workforce by investing in scholarships, trainings, and incentives to address the shortage of geriatricians and allied health professionals, ensuring readiness for nationwide service delivery. So far kasi narinig ko lang is yung volunteerism from our senior citizens and our BHWs, pero yung promotion na dumami pa yung kumuha ng kurso in relation to this field, yun sana yung mas i-promote natin. So probably in coordination with SHED, we can talk to them para mas ma-promote pa natin siya. So taken together, these bills form a comprehensive response to the pressing health, welfare, and rights-based needs of our Filipino older persons. They protect senior citizens from financial exploitation, expand access to specialized and research-based geriatric care, and ensure functional ability through oral, vision, and hearing services, as well as community-based outreach for the most vulnerable. The NCSC strongly endorses their passage in the Senate with the recommendation that they be harmonized with existing national frameworks, supported by sustained funding, and implemented equitably across regions. By advancing these measures, the Senate can secure a future where Filipino senior citizens are aged with dignity, independence, and meaningful participation in national development. Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Salamat din po, Ms. Anna Marie. That's a really good idea about SHED. Baka we can seek the advice of the society kina Dr. Huloka, how to make the best pitch to SHED. Paano mag-attract talaga, aside from yung incentives na binanggit ni Ms. Angelica kanina. Thank you po. Ms. Emily for COSE.
Yes po, thank you po ulit, Madam Chair. Yes, COSE po, we fully support the bills as it address po talaga yung need ng mga older persons. As mentioned earlier, nag-iikot po kami sa mga areas. So, assistive devices po, isa talaga sa mga kailangan. May mga, alam ko na lang po yung experience namin, like may mga older persons na ilang taon, buwan na hindi man lang makalabas ng bahay kasi walang wheelchair, di man lang maarawan. So talagang malaking tulong po ito. Then pagdating po sa human resource, alam natin na kulang talaga. I-share ko na lang din po yung experience ng COSE for 35 years working with older persons. Ang ginagawa po namin, maliban po sa tinitrain yung mga BHW on geriatric care, nagtitrain din po tayo ng mga older persons mismo na may kakayanan pa na tinatawag po namin sila mga community gerontologists na sila po yung tumutulong sa kapwa nakatatanda. So marami po tayong mga older persons volunteer. Then second, yung mga primary caregivers na mga nakatatanda mismong may mga sakit alagain. Kasi minsan po simpleng paano lang sila bibihisan, minsan papaliguan, ilang buwan hindi po napapaliguan kasi di alam yung mga techniques. So tinitrain po din namin yung mga primary caregivers. May experience po kami sa Leyte during Hayan. 6 months yung isang nakatatanda, di napapalitan yung catheter. Kasi walang kakayanan pumunta po sa sentro para po mapalitan. So talagang marami na pong sobrang malala yung nangyayari sa ground. So yung may mga initiatives po yung COSE na pwede natin sigurong pagsimulan po ng mga good practices. Then, mabanggit ko lang din po, mayroon na pong administrative order ang DSWD na pinush din po ng COSE, yung Home Care Support Services for Senior Citizens, AO04. 2010 pa po ito, di lang talaga fully implemented. So, may minamandate yung local government units to implement home care services for older persons by pagpo-provide ng mga trainings. Volunteer lang po to kasi alam ko naman mga Pilipino gusto talaga natin mag-volunteer. Kahit po 2 oras sa isang linggo o 3 beses sa isang linggo. So, kailangan lang po talaga yung implementation kasi may mga magaganda na tayo mga batas, mga policies. Kulang po lagi yung implementation po natin. So, yun lang po siguro ang maidadagdag ko, Madam Chair. Thank you po.
Thank you rin, Miss Emily. So baka bago tayo maghiwa-hiwalay mamaya, pwede yung kayo ni Dr. Huloca mag-usap kung yung suggestion po nyo na train senior citizens, able senior citizens to volunteer as senior BHWs or pwede ring yung community gerontologists, no? And baka pwede nyo ring pwedeng i-revisit din ng where's DSWD? Yes, ma'am. Yung AO of 2010 pala, home care support services. Baka pwedeng reboot din yan, reactivate with the participation ng mga senior citizens organizations. Salamat po, attorney. Salamat po, Ms. Emily. Mr. Tavaro sa COPAP.
Yes po, good afternoon ulit po, Madam Chair. I would like to point out that senior citizen social interactions are often affected due to impaired organs or senses. The decline in capacity of senses like hearing and visions are common and often leads to social isolations. As people age, sense organs may malfunction, causing disruption in their social interaction. This will address the needs for assistive devices to help improve their quality social life, connecting and communicating with others. COPAP support this bill as it benefits senior citizens, allowing them to enjoy more pleasant social interactions. The health aid also allow them to have meaningful participation in community life, thus continue to contribute in the progress and development of our nation. I-share ko lang din po kasi kami ay kaakibat ng COSE. We trained also our members doon sa aming OPO. We're in older persons organization. Sila po ay bago mag-meeting or shall I say for example when there is gathering, mayroon na pong nakatrain po doon sa amin mga member na kumukuha po ng blood sugar, kumukuha po ng cholesterol, BP, etc. Sila na po and sometimes they go beyond doon sa mga oras nila, binibisita po yung members namin na may mga karamdaman. Yun po. So train na rin po because of course yung kaagibat naming COSE.
Nakakatuwa. Tuloy po nyo yun. And mukhang may potential pa na i-upgrade further, lalo na in partnership sa ibang mga stakeholders dito. Salamat po, Mr. Tavaro. And last but not the least, Ms. Gurley for her Papo.
Yes, we fully support this bill, and we're very happy that the focus is on primary health care. And I support Miss Emily's and Sir's initiative with regard to home care. Because I also wear another hat. I'm also the ED of Hospice Philippines, and this is what we're trying to do. Home care, we train the family members on how to care for the sick or the elderly at home. And this is also under a bigger program called Compassionate Communities. So we will give you a paper on the compassionate communities because the Muntinlupa municipality has already given an ordinance with regard to compassionate communities, mobilizing volunteers and health providers to care for the sick and the elderly in their community. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Ang ganda naman noon, Miss Girly. Maybe pwede nyo, kung hindi pa nababalitaan halimbawa ng League of Provinces, pwede nyo i-share sa kanila, or maybe they already have municipalities within their provinces na ang ganda kung mag-replicate ng best practices, mag-scale up all over the country. So yung compassionate communities talagang tulad nung sinasabi ni na Miss Emily about community-based services, best practices din sa Jose Reyes, and yung hospice care din na ginagawa nyo, it echoes with yung sa kina Dr. Lauderes din. So ang daming pwedeng mag-force multiply sa isa't isa. So thank you so much for all your valuable inputs. This committee will also now prepare the committee report for the plenary deliberation on these last bills na pinag-usapan natin. So this hearing on free senior health aid measures is concluded. So muli po maraming salamat sa lahat, sa bawat isa sa inyo sa ating pagdinig ngayong hapon. What we heard today reinforces one truth. Health is not just a service, it is a right. So yung sinabi po ni ASEC sa Kilabon. And this right must be protected, especially for those who are too often overlooked, the poor, the elderly, and the disabled. Ending hospital detention, establishing geriatric centers, and bringing care directly to our senior citizens aren't just policy priorities, but a societal obligation. As we move forward toward finalizing the committee reports and convening the technical working groups, our compass remains clear. A healthcare system that upholds dignity, delivers justice, and leaves no one behind. So let us continue to act with urgency, empathy, and resolve. Maraming salamat, mabuhay ang bawat Pilipino, and to end talaga, binabati ko ang lahat ng nakatatandang Filipino, ang ating mga lolo't lola na Happy Elderly Week. So, nang may taus-pusong pasasalamat sa lahat, this hearing is adjourned.